Morning, my people. Father Paul here again. So, the JLP was able to pull off a win for the third term. Third term is now loaded, and the Honorable Prime Minister says the fourth term is now loading. But before we get into that, let me thank those persons who have liked and subscribed to the channel. The content that I put out, as much as I will ask for a like and subscribe, the honest truth is that I feel that if you listen to the content and you like it, then you will subscribe. I'm one of those persons who believe in organic growth. And though I may want to get to that magical number that Google has, so that I can bring even more to the channel and even dedicate more time to the channel, I personally would rather build it gradually over time. Because when I look at the history of those who have gone before me, they didn't build it overnight. And what I'm bringing is not necessarily, viral, sensational stuff. It's just another perspective. So I appreciate those who like the content and those who subscribe. I would rather have those people who like the channel and subscribe than for me to be constantly telling you to like and subscribe. Because you liking and subscribing, if you don't come back, then you miss out on content. And one could have a whole lot of subscribers and very few people who are keeping up with what is going on. Nevertheless, if you don't like and subscribe for those reasons, but you like and subscribe because I ask you, I thank you very much. So let's get back into this thing. I would firstly like to give a shout out to all those JLP bloggers, vloggers, those who were part of the efforts to mash down lies, misinformation, disinformation, and really get the truth to the people. I want to big up all of those. I want to big up the Steady Show, because for a long time I thought about it, but it was the Steady Show that gave me that final push to even have this channel. Because you can think about a lot of stuff, but it is action that does it. And so yes, big up Steady. I want to big up the resistance, because had they not brought certain information to us, the laborites, via their channels, we would not have known the depth of what was going on inside the PNP, so that we could further spread it amongst laborites. Because laborites in and of themselves don't listen to PNP arguments. So we would never really have known. So I want to big up Miss Karen Cross, JPU, and Jamaica 411. what you guys did for us, the Laborites, and what we, the Laborites, now have done in turn for Miss Cross, as in to see that, Andrew Michael Holness get his third term. It was a symbiotic relationship. However, after all of that, I am now going back to that famous phrase that Cliff Hughes always uses, the collective wisdom of the Jamaican people. And when I look at the map of how the wins took place and how it is that Westmoreland and Hanover have returned to the PNP, both Westmoreland and Hanover have PNP municipal corporations, which have not been spending the money, the revenue that's collected by the municipal corporation to the benefit of the people of Westmoreland and Hanover. And we can understand if Westmoreland and Hanover, for whatever reason, however it is, that the PNP were able to win in those areas. I was doing a quick calculation on this argument about the 500 million that has been allegedly put in for the PNP. And if you divide 500 million by $20,000, assuming that's the amount that a vote was being sold for, and let's not get it twisted, people. 20,000 Jamaican dollars is about approximately 130 to 35, $135 US. That's what people sold their votes for, if this is really what took place. 20,000. Because when you divide that 500 million by 20,000, and if my math is wrong, someone correct me, but you get 25,000, which means 25,000 votes, which means that you couldn't buy more than 2,000 votes per constituency. And if you look at the numbers a little bit closer, if you look at the margins by which the PNP won, Dayton Campbell, Peter Bunting, Mikhail Phillips, and some others, none of them won by a margin of even 2,000 votes. And that is crazy. As to why the people of South Manchester decided to vote for Bunting, will they ever tell us what the true story is and how Bunting won? The people who voted for Dayton Campbell, will they tell us the true story as to how he won? Ian Hales, Damian Crawford. It will be interesting to hear the story. Because as you look at the numbers for each of the constituencies, one of the things that stands out is that these other candidates, independent or otherwise, not one of them got even 100 votes. Now, in some of the seats that the JLP lost, for instance, in the seat with Anne-Marie Vaz, it appears that she lost by something like 135 votes. So that is interesting. And I would suspect that that one will probably go all the way to a magisterial recount. I suspect they'll throw the full effort behind that one because, in all honesty, in all fairness, if you're talking about a candidate who worked, who had been visible from day one, from the time she won that by-election against from the time she won the by-election. I mean, the by-election was she didn't even have to contest it with anyone because the PNP at the time said they were not contesting any by-elections. But when you look at it, she's been working in that constituency. She's done more for that constituency than the PNP have ever done for that constituency. So it's interesting. It's very interesting. That's the first thing, right? And I find that that's a hard one. But if you look at the PNP right now, and I have to agree with JPU on this, yes, the PNP has not won anything because all they did was get back seats that they previously held. It was the seat that Damian Crawford won is a seat that Hugh Richards, if I think that's his name, Hugh Graham is his name, I think, had. So it was a PNP seat before. Newton Amos was simply trying to wrest it from the PNP. And I guess Newton is also going to realize that, what it is that drives voters. Well, who knows? Because it appears that even if you make known to the people the deeds of the candidates, that does not in any way seem to sway the votes. And which is why you keep thinking, you can't help but think to yourself, did these people sell their votes? Because it's hard to imagine that any well-thinking person could have thought it a good idea just based on the behavior of some of the candidates. Based on what has come to light about many of the candidates. It just does not add up. People are going into the polling station And many of them apparently seem to, I don't know, we did speak about this, that this fully done culture was a bad thing. And those promoting it didn't mean the people any good at all. Because you must be fully done to know that you are supposed to make a selection. And you go in and mark both boxes, which spoils the ballot. So going forward, I guess we need to take the people through some exercises of how to mark a ballot, of showing them, okay, if you do this on a ballot, if you put an X beside the hell and beside was that a Freudian slip? Put the X beside the head and put an X beside the bell on the same ballot, that ballot does not count. It don't mean that JLP get one vote and PNP get one vote, because each ballot is one vote. So if you want to do it mathematically, if you give the two sides a vote, then no side get a vote. And so the ballot is spoiled. Again, the next thing is, how difficult is it to make an X inside a square box? Do we need to go back to a basic school setting and start to teach them from there how to draw an X in a box? Because we got to get some of the elementary stuff fixed. I must say also that after listening to Dujan, and big up Dujan, well, you put in a whole heap of effort for them people down the west, and I tell you, you must feel like Anne-Marie Vaz. It's like a slap to the face. It's like a slap to the face. But now you know. Sell out Marcus Garvey for rice. So, I mean, what can you expect, eh? But there's an argument I heard in one of your broadcasts, which basically was saying, listen, the road run through all of the constituency them, so we fix the road them for everybody, because that's public thoroughfare. We'll fix the hospital because that's a public thoroughfare as well. Anybody can need doctor. I will fix the infrastructure, any bridges in the area, get pipe water to the people. Because again, it have to run through some place to get to some other place. Eh? But the part of your argument that says we need to sort out them 35 seats what we have so far, sort them out, give them proper things, yeah? So that maybe some PNP people might drive through them area there and see how things are going for them. And realize say it would have made more sense next time around to vote Labour. Because Labour gonna come fix up your area. Yeah? You'll get some more things. You know, besides the road, and the water and the hospital, right? Yeah. You will get some more. But it's been a long time Jamaicans saying that passing christening picnic first. And to the Labour Party government, make no mistake. You make sure say you christen your picnic them first. Because if you take up what's supposed to be given to your children, do not cast the pearls before swine. Because what take place in these PNP constituencies can only be swinish behavior. So let's cast our pearls before swine. And do not give the children's bread to the dogs. Your children are the ones who see what you're doing and encourage you to continue. So don't go into this thing where you think, yes, it's a government for all of Jamaica. But that don't mean say you must cut your nose to spite your face. Huh? You try to take care of them 35 seats where you have so far. Take care of those 35 seats properly. Shower them with love and affection and good things. And let it be that those seats that went back to the PNP, let them look over the fence and realize, boy, some things are going on over there. I wonder if we get one Labour right in our constituency, if we could have get some good, some nicer things too. Mark, you will say, we're going to the road and the hospital and the water. Because in 2025, people should have good road to drive on. About Labour right and PNP use the road. And sometimes you have to drive through a PNP area to get to which part you want. So, yeah. Give them the road. And you don't know which part you can take sick. So fix up the hospital and the clinic them. The area them. All general services, yes, that affect all the people. But you see special projects, them PNP area there, not forget a single special project. No special projects for them. No. You're not get no special project. Because owner is ungrateful. 30 and 40 years on our PNP over on PNP MP and PNP government, and don't have nothing to show for it. And because of the actions within the PNP, some JLP candidates win in those areas, because that is really what happened. Them only get back 15 seats where them did lose in 2020. So they've gained nothing really. And it looked like them not out to get back all 15 of them. Because see them lose one already. Central, Kingston. Or Kingston Central as they call it. Pardon. Right? So they've gained nothing. And for them, it is a bittersweet. because they're going to be in the parliament but not be the government. And I can just imagine, some people have to go back to them budgets, because who did do them budget based on minister salary, which only turn up since JLP in power, right? Eh? Yeah, that thing tall up, right? So enough of them did do calculations based on them budget based on minister salary, cabinet salary, calibrate cabinet minister salary. Now, the mafia do recalculate based on MP salary, even though that turn up too. But it's a far cry when you did do your budget and you come up $6 or $7 million short. Yeah, I put a real dent in the thing. And then of course there is going to be the battle that's going to take place inside the PNP, because I am sure Peter Bunting wishes to be leader. And Dayton Campbell, having said that if you can't win, you should go, that was what he basically said of Dr. Peter Phillips. Well, winning some more seats, the seats that were previously yours, is not an accomplishment. It's not an accomplishment. It doesn't mean anything is resonating with the country, because you won back the seats that were yours. So it would mean that Mark Golding will face the delegates at the next conference. The question also is, Damian Crawford, what are your ambitions? Because you did say that Marky G is a 200-meter runner. So are you going to also wish to face the delegates? Or is there going to be a sabotage run on you, Damian Crawford, by your friend enemy? So there are some interesting things. By the look of things, it would also appear that the choice Lisa Hanna made to get out of the politics may have been a good one, because there would definitely not be a place for her in the PNP. There would definitely not be a place for her, because most of the people who are going to be in any position are the risers. The same risers who had sabotaged her, allegedly, in the first day in 2020. And she managed to still pull off a very thin win. So we have some interesting days ahead. Looking forward to hearing the Prime Minister announce his cabinet. I suspect most persons will retain their jobs. We have lost maybe one state minister, and that is yet to be seen anyway, because I suspect that seat for Dr. Dunn will also go to a magisterial recount, which could bring the GLP to 36. And if we could pick up action on her seat, that would bring them up to 37. But I expect that they're going to, try and see how many of these seats that they really, can throw some effort behind and see if we actually did win those seats. But the next time around, I hear about the independent voters. I can't bother pay them any mind, because them never really, serve no purpose. Except, as we are finding out in the Donovan Williams recount, that somehow some of his votes ended up with the independent candidate, which is curious to say the least. But back to one of the points I was making is that with all the effort of the resistance was not able to stop these risers. But the actions of the resistance awakened the laborites to how serious this was. And I've been mulling the idea that those of us amongst the shower army and the resistance, I think we need to hold a summit. Yeah? Tell me what I think about a summit. Well, we need to get some proper learning on how this ground game is supposed to run, and how it is we can shore up the seats that we have. And they need to do something about the voters list, because all them names on the voters list, I don't believe 2 million plus people on this voters list. And if you check it out, forget about the percentages, let's look at the numbers. The number of people that vote in elections in Jamaica seem to be somewhere between 650 to 800 and 850,000 people seem to be the number of people that vote in almost all the elections. So this extra million plus people that we have on the voters list, if you check that out, because what that is considered suggesting about voter apathy, I don't think there's voter apathy. There are people who just don't make the connect between politics and their pocket, and so for them, they just don't get it. They just don't get it. We need to start this program with the sixth from the starting, definitely with the sixth graders. Yeah, we need to bring forward this whole civics thing. We will cut out the whole heap of subjects over and get the kids for them. Reading, writing, and mathematics. Those are the things. Now, when I say writing, I'm not talking about cursive. I'm talking about being able to express your thoughts. As composition writing, essay writing. That's what I'm talking about. Reading. If you can read, then you'll be able to read anything. Reading and comprehension. And all these other subjects, those are all things that people can gravitate to once they have the ability. To read. Yeah. So we'll talk again, my people, and we see how these things pan out. Working towards, as the most honorable Prime Minister said, the fourth term. Yeah? Yeah. We'll talk again.